When you film a lot of videos, the filming process can really start to get complicated and overwhelming. And so in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on keeping your filming process a lot more simple and scaled down. When it becomes too complicated or a whole situation to get a video filmed, it's going to cause you to burn out and get frustrated with filming and possibly quit filming videos. So the more simplified we keep the process, the better it is and the easier it is for us to just start filming. When the process of filming a video gets too complicated and a whole production to get a video filmed and out the door, then it's going to cause us in the long run to burn out and just get to where we don't want to film videos. And so to keep us consistent and to keep us all balanced out all the way around, you really have to scale it down when it comes to filming. And my philosophy has always been keep it simple. And so my first tip is to stop focusing on trying to please the algorithm. Instead, what you want to do is create content that is going to speak to your ideal viewer and your audience. And once you start creating content that's resonating and hitting with your audience, it's going to happen naturally that you're going to get more views, and then in turn your video is going to get pushed out to more people. And so that takes a lot of pressure out of you trying to figure out what does the algorithm want, what are all the metrics and things that you've got to figure out to kind of please the algorithm, versus if you just work on creating content for your audience and those specific people that you're trying to appeal to, the process is a whole lot easier and goes a whole lot smoother and faster. And if you're like, well, how do I figure all that out? Like, how do I figure out what type of content to create for my audience? The best way to do that is to think about yourself. Your audience is a direct reflection of you. And generally, a lot of times, if you're thinking about beginner content, the things that your audience is dealing with is going to be the things that you struggled with when you first got started. So you can even start thinking about, some of those things. What were some of your biggest struggles, before you got started creating videos or doing whatever it is that you do? And then you can kind of create videos around each one of those things. The other thing that you can think about is what are the frustrations and struggles that you're currently having and experiencing right now. If you're experiencing those frustrations and struggles, more than likely your audience is too, and would love to find a way to help them deal with it or figure out whatever that specific issue is. So for example, in this video, I'm creating a video and talking to you about how to make video filming go a whole lot smoother and easier. And so the reason why I came up with this video is because that was one of the things I was struggling with. I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's such a chore and such a production just to get a video filmed. Like, why does it got to be this hard? And when something gets hard, it makes it to where we don't want to do that task. And so then we don't move our business forward because we're kind of rebelling and not doing what we need to do because it's irritating us. So a lot of times if I find things that are, like I said, frustrating or irritating points, those are going to be a good video for me to create for my audience because I know that that's going to speak to them and help them maybe get through what I'm currently dealing with and that they're more than likely dealing with as well. And my next tip is to use your cell phone to film with, and better yet, use your front-facing camera that's on the front of your phone to film with. Now, I know we've been told by all the gurus to use the camera that's on the back of the phone because you get a better picture quality. However, I have filmed with both cameras, and from what I can tell, there's not that big of a difference. And to your ideal viewer and your person watching, as long as they can see you and your video is not pixelated or grainy looking or glitchy looking, you're not going to really have any issues. The benefits to filming with the front-facing camera is you're able to easily see yourself and fix yourself within your video frame so that way you're not trying to guess at it and try to set something up with a mirror on the back to be able to see your shot. And so my thing is, why make things a lot harder than it has to be? Let's just go with what we know works and keep things simple. And most of the cameras these days on our phone are really super high quality and get really great video. And you can be the judge of what your video looks like and all of that. But like I said, as long as it's not glitchy looking or looks bad as far as the picture goes, it's not really an issue. And so for me, I filmed a good portion of a lot of my YouTube videos from my phone because it was a whole lot quicker to set up and pop up onto a ring light and just start filming, versus if you are filming with, from a laptop or a webcam or something of that nature, it just makes it a whole lot more complicated and a lot more tech stuff involved. And so it takes longer to get set up and get broke down. And then when you're doing that process over and over again, it can sometimes, create a friction point for you. And you're like, man, I really hate doing this every single time. So just make your life easier and just film from your cell phone. And so the next tip I would suggest is to just be sure you have good sound. And to ensure that you have good sound quality, you do need to have some type of lapel mic. Now you can have the kind that actually plugs into the phone, and you can also have a wireless Bluetooth mic. Now I would suggest something like a wireless Bluetooth mic because it's going to make it a whole lot easier to ensure that your sound is great. And if you're moving around like I am right now in this video, it's not going to be a problem whether you're moving all the way over here or you're moving all the way over here, or if I'm all the way over here, my sound quality is not going to change because of the wireless mic. And that is one of the reasons I would highly suggest one of these, because you don't have to worry about, is my sound going to be picking up? Am I going to have good sound quality? Because if you don't have a wireless mic, one of the biggest things that you're going to struggle with is background background noise. And so everything is going to be amplified and you're going to hear all of the background noise. So it's worth the investment, and you can get these for pretty reasonable. And if you would like my personal suggestions for all the different types of equipment, you can actually download my equipment guide from the description box below. And so I'll be sure to include that down below for you, so that way you can easily access it and download that guide. The next tip that I would suggest is for you to invest in gadgets and different things like that that's going to really help to make your job a lot easier when it comes to filming videos. The reason why is because with this, like a particular gadget like this, it's basically my little cameraman that will follow me, and all I have to do is just turn this little guy on, press this button here, turn it on, and it's going to basically be my cameraman and follow me as I'm moving. And that way I don't have to have a physical person to film my videos if I'm wanting to move around. Another thing I invested in was this square ring light. This little guy helps make it a whole lot easier for me to be able to just pop it open and pop it up, and I can easily start filming right from my phone and not have an issue, and be sure that my face is lit well and all of that good stuff, and get a video filmed really quickly versus having to have my big ring light that I currently have right now going. And so if something, it becomes an issue like I was mentioning earlier, and it's a frustration point and a friction point and causing you not to want to do the task, then it's best to find a way to make it easier and more fun and more enjoyable, because that way you'll actually get the video done, or actually get whatever task it is done that you want to get done. And my last suggestion would be to create filming zones, so that way when you're filming inside of your home, these are going to be places that stay decorated and kind of stay set up. So I like to think vertical spaces like walls or mantles or fireplaces, spare bedrooms in the corners, coffee nooks, all of that fun stuff. Those types of places, they kind of stay put, they don't really get that messy, and you don't have to do a whole lot of cleaning up before you get ready to film. That was another big hurdle that I had, was like, oh my gosh, every time I go to film, I've got to hurry up and clean up and get everything fixed. Whereas if you create some on-purpose spots inside of your home and throughout your home just kind of works with you and allows you to film a whole lot easier. And so like in my living room, I have at least 4 to 5 filming zones or angles that I can get and film my video in front of. So as you see right here behind me over here, this is basically my filming set that I created and made it super easy for me to be able to film in front of. However, I can also turn my camera around, and as you see, we're in my living room, and when we face this way, I have another angle that I can film from. Another little tip is, if you are filming in your living room and say like your TV is actually up on the wall, whereas mine is on this little TV stand behind me, if it's a little distracting and you're getting a little reflection of your ring light and all of that in the video, and that's an issue for your video, all you have to do is go to YouTube, search for TV art, and you can easily find a ton of framed art like what I have on my screen right now. And so this right here is actually just a framed art screensaver that is running on my screen. That way it's not super distracting in my background, and I'm making my background work for me versus me getting frustrated with, oh my gosh, this is in the way, or I can't film right here. And the other thing you can do is get a closer, tighter shot. So I could pull this back even closer to the mantle, and then that way it would make it a tighter shot, and I really wouldn't have to worry as much about that. I could really just focus on the center part right here on my mantle. So just know that if you create like these little filming zones throughout your home and outside that you can easily pop to, and it'll make your filming go a whole lot faster. And if you want to learn more about video, be sure to watch the next video on your screen now. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.